So I got the 2014 Godzilla movie out today, and I love it. I love this movie. Godzilla is back. It was awesome. I saw it in theaters, and I just had to get it on DVD and Blu-ray just so I can watch it over and over again. Why? Because he's motherfucking Godzilla. That's why. What other reason would there possibly be? Now, I know there are people out there that say, oh, this movie sucked. Oh, this movie wasn't as good as the other Godzilla movies, the original ones. Oh, Godzilla's fat. I get it. I get it. There will be people out there that have different opinions of what they thought about this movie. I respect them. I respect them. I have my own opinions. They have their own. That's fine. But when you say this movie is even worse than the 1998 Godzilla movie, well, that's when I get a little ticked off, because there's no way this movie is as bad as 1998. There's not even no contest there. But since there are people out there that feel the same opinion, I decided to give my own reasons why 1998 Godzilla can suck balls. This is my second versus video. So, I think you guys get the idea of what I'm going to be doing, but for those that are new to this, I'm going to be taking both movies step by step. The plot, the characters, and mainly the main characters, Godzilla. So, let's talk about the plot. 1998, what's the plot? Well, it involves a nuclear testing taking place in the French Polynesian Islands, and apparently some iguanas were nearby. The testing began, one of the eggs was exposed and eventually become the Godzilla that would later be in the movie. And apparently it's attacking ships, stealing fishes, going to New York, destroying stuff, going in the buildings, in the tunnels, in the water, so he can lay some egg. Oh yeah, apparently Godzilla can make eggs, either a woman or a man. Go figure. And apparently they bring in some scientists to try to figure this out. He works together with some secret French organization to help kill Godzilla and the eggs, to cover up any involvement with their government and the nuclear testing. They work with some news reporter and her cameraman. They destroy the eggs. They kill Godzilla, and that's the end. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the plot. Doesn't sound good, right? 2014 Godzilla. The plot of this movie is, well, apparently is actually different. They gave a good origins about Godzilla and the monster that it goes up against in this movie. Yeah, there's a monster in this Godzilla movie. Unlike the other one, it was just Godzilla versus the military. This one was Godzilla versus new monsters that we actually never seen in the other Godzilla films. And apparently the main character helps the military try to stop these monsters from destroying their city and making more baby monsters to destroy the world. And Godzilla's on their side, is trying to kill these monsters, while at the same time the military is trying to kill it. And Godzilla saves the day, lets out a roar, and then leaves into the water. I think where I'm leaning more towards about who won this round. Definitely the Godzilla 2014 plot. Why? The 1998 plot, it just wasn't what we were expecting. Kind of like the last few movies that these guys made before Godzilla 1998. They made Independence Day. They made Stargate. Both movies did succeed in the box office, but as far as the plot is concerned, at the beginning it did sound good, but as the story moved along, it just got a little ridiculous and wasn't good. And not to mention the fact the ending for both movies was definitely different. The 2014 had a better ending. The 1988 had a predictable ending, I guess, when they're zooming back into the destroyed building where the eggs were. And let's just say the humor they throw into this 1988 Godzilla, not so good. Oh yeah, they threw humor into this movie. Can you believe that? They threw humor into a Godzilla film. Yes, I know some films should have a little humor, but not this one. The humor was not funny. None of the jokes they made was funny. And trying to make fun of two movie critics that gave their last two movies thumbs down didn't work either. Oh yeah, they had the two actors that were trying to portray two movie critics, also known as, let me check, Siskel and Ebert. Yeah, they were two movie critics that had their own television show where they, criticize the movies that they watch and give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And they gave these guys a thumbs down for the last two movies, and they gave one for this Godzilla film. Another movie reviewer called Nostalgia Critic actually pointed out that these guys, mentioned how if they wanted to make fun of these guys or even do something with them, because all they did nothing in this movie except complain, and that's it. They mentioned that they should have had Godzilla kill them or eat them. That would have been good. That was their chance, and they blew it. And I have to agree. I think if they had Godzilla do that, I think it would have been good, at least for the movie. But other than that, definitely it's not very good, and especially the humor when they try to throw into this. So that's why I gotta go with 2014. It's not humorous. It is pretty cool when, at least the plot, and when, let's face it, it definitely did not have this joke. That's a lot of fish in this movie. Yeah, so let's get to the characters. The 1998, I won't say they were bad actors, but the characters they were trying to portray, not likable, very forgettable. You didn't even care if they lived or die or not. I mean, none of these guys or gals were interesting. You just couldn't get into their characters, and you know, like I said, live or die doesn't really matter. But I think for a lot of people, dying would have been better. Now, I will say that 2014, again, they had pretty cool actors, and they did actually kill off some of their characters, including Heisenberg. I was disappointed when they killed off Heisenberg. I thought he was going to have more role in this movie instead of the actor who was playing his son. Now, granted, I didn't like this guy very much because he kept fainting 3 times into this movie, but he did more in this movie than the 1998 main character did. All he did was make bad jokes, was kind of a wimp, and didn't really do much of anything. So, I mean, there's really no comparison. There's really a big differences between these two characters. And one of the other things I liked is the scientists they had in this movie in the 2014, who explain to the main character about the organization he's a part of, the background of Godzilla and these monsters. I mean, that was pretty cool. I like that guy and how, he gave that cool line, "Let them fight." And that was, I agree. Just let these two monsters fight. Just let them fight. That's what we wanted. And we did. So I'm going to go with the 2014. Like I said, the 1998 didn't have bad actors. I'm just saying, for this movie, a Godzilla movie, not the right choice. Not even close. Now we get to the Godzillas. Now, really there's no point since I think we know who the winner is, but I'm still going to go with this anyways. Now the 1998 Godzilla, or as they call it, the American version, Zilla. Yeah, no, not God, just Zilla. That's it. Now, when the trailer started coming out for this, for the 1998, I give them credit. They did well luring us into this movie because we wanted to know what Godzilla looked like and how cool it would look. They kept hinting out how big Godzilla's head is, how big its feet were, and how tall it was. But we still wanted to know what it looked like, and we finally did, and the payoff was not worth it. It didn't look like a cool Godzilla, it just looked like a giant iguana that had some features of Godzilla. At least the spikes on his back. That's it. Anything else, not much. Except the roar, but that's it. This Godzilla didn't have any of the other cool attributes that the other Godzillas had. It didn't have the atomic breath. I mean, when it did open its mouth and roared, it looked like it let out fire. But it didn't. Its back wasn't glowing when it's about to attack, like we've seen in the other Godzilla movies. It just yelled and fire came out. That's it. Nothing else. And you can't help but feel how they could have make this Godzilla look less CGI. I mean, this thing looks so CGI. I mean, Nostalgia Critic pointed out how it didn't look cool, and what was wrong with this Godzilla. I agree, this Godzilla just didn't look that cool at all. But the 2014 Godzilla, I know it's CGI, but excuse me, but it still looks better than 1998. It's not too CGI. It actually looks like the original Godzilla. It had the same features at it. I get it. People say it was fat. I don't think it was fat. And when it made any facial expressions, I gotta say, that was pretty cool. And when it let out that roar of it, that legendary roar, I thought, oh, that is so cool. Not to mention the fact that this Godzilla, it had the atomic breath. During the fight against the monster it was going up against, you could see a bright blue glow, and you hear this charging up, dun 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 dun, dun, and it opened its mouth and just fired at the monster. That was awesome. I shit you not. Me and my friend, we were watching this, and we were so happy that this happened. We were so happy how that Godzilla had the atomic breath, and a lot of people in the theaters, they agreed too. It was definitely awesome, and when it made its first appearance, that was cool. But so what was wrong with the 1998? What else was wrong with the 1998 that the 2014 didn't have? Okay, well, one other thing that was wrong with this Godzilla is that they had this Godzilla fight against the military. I get it. The other movies we did have Godzilla go up against the military before. But this military was just awful. They couldn't hit Godzilla, even with the weapons they had. They actually did more damage to the buildings than Godzilla did. And, you know, they killed it. They killed it hitting 3 missiles on one side of its body and another 3 missiles on the other side of the body. And it died. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There was other one thing I wanted to mention before I continue with my rant. It couldn't even get a taxi cab. A big, huge Godzilla monster could not get a small little cab that it was chasing around. Pathetic. Back to the rant. How could they kill Godzilla? How could they kill Godzilla in the movie? I'm sorry. How could they kill Zilla in that movie? Zilla, if this Zilla was supposed to be Godzilla, it couldn't have been killed that easily. It was so stupid. This 2014, it was being shot at with guns, missiles. It was still not going down. It was still going on. And that was what I liked, that they didn't kill Godzilla with any missiles or any guns or anything like that. So that was cool to see that. 1998, not even close. That was just bad what they did with that Godzilla. And I was just upset that they killed off Godzilla, and apparently it had its own baby in the end of the movie. Oh, the babies, I forgot to mention. Oh my god, the babies for this movie, the baby Godzillas were awful. They were... Why? Who thought that was gonna be good? Well, pretty much the 2014 is the winner, the clear winner of this fight between these two. No question about it. Now, I am going to bring up some stuff that I should have mentioned before. Yes, that they both have some similar plots. You know, they focus so much on the humans, less on Godzilla. But the 2014 had a better plot because, you know, yes, the focus was on the humans, but when Godzilla did appear and fought for a few seconds against the monster it was going up against, they were building that up. They were doing well, building up to the final battle, and that was a good thing to do. This one, the 1998, all it did was show Godzilla go up against the military, and that's it. And they killed it off. That was just plain stupid. The characters, again, the 2014 characters had characters that we could, we could enjoy watching. Granted, there are some that we wish could be killed off, but not as much as the 1998. Their characters, live or die. You didn't really care. And the Godzillas at the end, 2014, it looked more like the Godzilla that we know. It didn't look like a giant iguana. And one other thing I liked is how it went up against two new monsters, both called Mutos, they looked like giant bat-like creatures. That was cool how we got to see that fight between those two, and how Godzilla killed them both. One swinging his tail, smashing it against a building, killing it, and the other, it grabbed its mouth, it opened it, and it fired its atomic blast right through its throat and ripped the head off. That was cool. That was awesome. That's what I wanted to see in a Godzilla film. The 1998 just didn't have any of those elements that we love from Godzilla. And that's why 2014 Godzilla is the winner, and 1998 Godzilla can go back into the water and just die. Just die. If you guys have a different opinion of what you thought about the Godzilla films, leave some comments below and let me know what you think. And I will be here next time to do another review for a movie, video game, or TV series. I'm still debating on that, whenever I have time to do that. But I will be here next time to bring you more entertainment and more love, because that's what I want to do. I'm here for you guys. Take care. See you next time.